All right, we're back, baby. This is episode 15, and we have ourselves one hell of a guest. Last week we had Cole's Kitchen. Guy just knows ball. God knows ball. Cole Lockman knows how to cook, he knows how to eat, and that's why we brought him on. But this guy here, we're bringing in this week, we got Barstool Large coming back. Mike McCarthy's his name, but he goes by Large at Barstool. He's got a podcast called You Gotta Try This. Big time foodie, always on the road. So we had to bring him on. Super nice guy. Really expect a lot out of him. And I will be honest, I'm a little intimidated because he's a little bit older than me and he just knows so much about food. But that's why we're doing this. We want to bring him on. We want to learn a little bit. And I love food. He loves food. Y'all love food. And that's why we do this thing. So we're going to bring on Large and we're going to talk ball. Uh, he does the sandwich of the month and he does about two reviews a week. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited. Really nice guy. Um, and yeah, we're going to pick his brain a little bit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on the big fella. Barstool Large, welcome to the table.
Large.
Hey man, how are you?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you for joining us.
My pleasure. How's this audio?
Sound great.
Okay, let me
Little
just close
DIY
this.
there. Brought the studio to the crib for you, Large.
Look at that.
How
Appreciate that, brother.
you
Let me
been? How
see.
you doing?
Everything's good, man. How about you?
Oh, we're just hanging in there.
Good.
Busy with work. What hot weather's coming, but we're still grubbing every day, eating some good food.
Yeah, right. We got no choice. Give me
Ready to
two.
roll?
Yes, sir. Yeah, go
All
nuts.
right, cool. So kind of how we like to do things, like how we start, and by we, I mean just me, one man
Mhm.
operation. Um, Kind of like to start off. So right now we're recording about 6 p.m. I kind of like to ask my guests what they've had to eat today. So if you don't mind, what you ran through the pipe today so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. I'm sorry about this. I
You're good, dude.
apologize.
It's all
I'm
good.
shifting around in my seat like I'm some sort of fucking diva. How are we about cursing on this thing? We okay with that?
Yeah, let it fly.
Okay, cool. Um, all right. So we've begun, and you asked me what I ate today.
Yes. So how we
Excellent.
started, do we do breakfast? Whatever. Let it
Yeah,
roll.
I got up this morning. I didn't have to get into the office until around noon today, which is goddamn blessing, right?
Yeah, how about
Um,
that?
one of the things that my daughter benefits from more than anybody else in the world is that when she's going to school, she's the high schooler. My other two kids are a little bit older. She gets breakfast made by me. So we did
Wow.
prosciutto eggs and American cheese on
American.
yeah, on American cheese. I got to
Okay.
be honest, whenever I make, so I fry the prosciutto first.
Sure.
I just kind of rest it on top of an American cheese omelet. If you're asking me what my favorite cheese in an omelet is, it's the one that, you have to peel the plastic around. A Kraft
Sure.
single is it. And my favorite omelet to make, I don't order lobster in restaurants except to bring it home so I can make a lobster omelet the next day with American cheese. It's one of my favorite breakfasts in the world.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
so today
is pretty unique.
we did some prosciutto and eggs.
Okay.
We at work today, I didn't eat anything, to be honest with you. We kind of going a little bit hard, and then the dude from my garage called me and said, "You got to get the hell out of here. They're about to close down the streets because it's the Knick game tonight."
Oh, yeah. I've been
Yeah.
seeing some videos. New York looks
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. So I drive in every day. So I drove in on Monday and it was that perfect storm of Trump and the Knicks playoff game in New
Sure.
York. And
Oh
so they
boy.
closed down most of Midtown Manhattan, or at least the westbound traffic for some reason. And then today it wasn't nearly as bad, but apparently our Barstool's office is right next to the garden.
Okay.
So it stands to reason that I park very, very close to the garden. And
Yeah.
so the one of the westbound blocks was getting closed. I think they were going to pinch it at 4. So I got the hell out of Dodge. Rolled up a couple of, I went to the H Mart. Do you guys
Okay.
have? Yeah, so
No, we
it's
don't
oh,
have H Mart. I'm sure it's just what, a little grocery store?
it's a Korean grocery store,
Okay.
and they're popping up all over the place. There's not a
Really?
lot of advertising. If you see one on the road, get into an accident to go because
Really?
Yeah, I don't like to buy pre-marinated food. I find that it's
Okay,
just
fair
laden in
enough.
garlic powder and stuff like
You know,
that.
I've heard, speaking of that, I've heard just from a random person about those pre-marinated meats that you get in the packs.
Yeah.
I've heard that they're like somewhat sketchy, like cut wise on the sketchy side of the meat, and they just throw a bunch of mess in there to make it seem a little better. I don't think they taste good at all.
Yeah, and I'm a snob, right? I'm an asshole
Sure.
snob, whatever you want to call me. Um, the marinated meat bar at H Mart. So I that's where I get my bulgogi and
Okay.
like all of that stuff. Some of my Korean pork belly, because I'll make the marinade with the pear
Really?
puree and all that kind of shit. But I'm telling you, whatever they have out there, and they always have an indoor grill going, so you get a couple of free samps, and
Oh
it's
man,
yeah,
yeah,
it's the
that's
best
the
thing in the world.
best. You know,
So
that it's a shame. COVID really died down the free samples.
it did. Broke my heart, especially
Yeah.
in like cool places like Stu Leonard's, which you guys
Yeah.
don't have
No.
out there. But all these high-end or boutique grocery stores,
Sure.
they kind of survive with people coming in, trying a piece of cheese and being like, "Oh yeah, I'll spend $60 on that." And to
Yeah.
have that taken away, I mean, I know a lot of people died as well, but to have that taken away is a blow
Yeah.
to my cheese habit on top
Yeah.
of people passing away, you
Yeah.
know?
So dinner plans
Dinner,
or
yeah, I have it on the stove right now. I had rolled some meatballs today as I was just doing nothing, left them in the fridge. Just pan fried them, simple sauce, and now I have the meatballs just cooking through on the sauce.
oh,
When I
that
get through
sounds
with
lovely.
this, I got the other pot boiling. My wife's keeping an eye on it. I'm gonna throw in a little bit. I think we're doing fusilli tonight, so it'll be just a little
Okay.
fusilli meatballs, nothing too big, not a big Sunday sauce with the sausage and whatnot. But I'll do that a lot more during the summer as opposed to that big Sunday sauce during
Of
the fall and the
course.
winter on Sundays, which just like nourishes my soul.
I love a good Sunday dinner. Like
Yeah.
Sundays, I absolutely try. Now it's just me and my wife, but Sundays we absolutely try and sit down, have a good dinner. We do a good amount of cooking though. Do you cook pretty
Yeah,
often
I do
or
100% of the cooking in this house.
that's how I am too?
My wife is a good cook.
Okay.
She's a good cook.
Okay.
But she does not enjoy it. I
Really,
love to
that's how mine
cook.
is. Me
So I'm
too.
I'm a better cook. I'm not saying I'm a great cook or
Yeah,
fantastic. I'm definitely better than her, just as the kids.
of course.
And I love it. So she's like, and it gets me out of other things. So I do all
Yeah.
the grocery shopping and all the cooking. I do. It's
See,
just,
I wish I do. Sometimes we go together, but I do most of the grocery shopping. And I hate going to the grocery store, but I love cooking.
yeah.
If I enjoy going for like one meal, if I'm
Mhm.
gonna do it up, I like doing that. But as far as getting groceries like for the week, not a big fan of it.
I got laid off and when I was on Wall Street, and I was laid off for just over a year. And we just bought our first house.
Hmm.
We didn't have any kids yet. And my wife was, she was my sugar mommy. She supported me that year and we had no problems with it. We were young.
Right.
And that's when the Food Network was starting to like really get its feet underneath it.
Uh-huh.
We're talking 23 years ago, something
Yeah.
like that. So it was
Back
still in
when
its
cable
infancy.
TV was legit.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
no flat screens. Flat
Yeah.
screens
Yeah.
were like this thick, and the rest of them
Yeah.
were just big screens and big well. So she'd go to work every day, and I fell in love with, Emerald and Rachel Ray and stuff. I'd go
Yeah.
shopping every day and
Really.
just kind of it replaced toy story stores for me. And
Of
sometimes you
course.
walk around and you're like, oh shit, this is
Yeah.
awesome. And even as an adult, I'd be like, oh shit, this is awesome. Toy stores.
Hmm.
And now it's grocery stores and specialty grocery stores for me. So she'd come home every day and have like this gourmet or close to gourmet meal, however close I can get it, made every day. And then
Hmm.
we just kept doing we just kept it going. And
Yeah.
I'm stuck with it. But I haven't done a load of laundry in 27 years. So
That's
what would you rather
tremendous.
do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, laundry's a no for me either. Oh
Fuck
man.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So the specialty grocery, see, you live in an area where you have it's so diverse.
Hmm.
I'm in right now, so right now I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, but I'm moving to Nashville in like 2 months.
Okay.
It's really like there's not a whole lot of diversity around here
I
as
I
far
just
as
got
like
back from
markets.
Nashville. I haven't
Did
spent
you?
too much time in Knoxville. I was in Nashville last weekend. And I had one of the best banh mi's I've ever had at East
Really?
Side Banh
Oh,
Mi.
I did
Yeah.
see your video. Yes. I've
Yeah.
never had banh mi.
Oh yeah. So and a traditional one's made with like, some degree of like some sort of ham,
Yeah.
smoked or otherwise. And along with the pate, a terrine, all that kind of stuff. Instead of the ham, they swap it out for smoked bologna because they can't help themselves in
Of
Tennessee,
course.
And
Yeah, Nashville.
so, yeah, I didn't mind the tweak at all. But when you go
Yeah.
down there, somebody just told me one today, like, oh, I missed this. And, when you put out a food review at a place that you had spent some time in, and
Right.
somebody's like, oh, what an idiot, you didn't order this. I'm like, well, just
Yeah.
one guy, like, and
Everybody's a critic. Oh yeah, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
I'll
So.
tell you what, you do next time you're in Nashville, there's a spot, I believe it's called the Red-Headed Stranger, I think.
Yeah, it's Red Hood Strangers on the list as well.
Green
People
chili
rave about
cheeseburger. I'll tell you what, it's legit.
it. Yeah.
It's legit.
It's a tough
Good
flight
spot.
home, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Man, Nashville's got some good food. But all right, so we'll pivot a little bit. I'll tell you what, one thing I really love about what you do and all this stuff is the sandwich of the month.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to watch. And it seems like you love a good steak sandwich, right?
Yeah, so I'm a sandwich hound just like most people. And I
Yes.
started doing the sandwich of the month years ago. Just, something to do, right? You're always
Right.
trying to find that thing that goes
Of course.
viral. And some of it almost killed me. Like I did the 25 shots at Christmas, or
Yeah.
every day I do a different liquor and a different toast. And one day was like Everclear, and I was like, what the fuck am I
Oh,
doing? But sandwich of the month was always something where people are like, it's my favorite time of month. And
yeah.
even if they don't like it, it's something that didn't get a tremendous amount of clicks.
Yeah.
And I don't really count clicks too much, or at least
Right.
I didn't before, I started to get into the whole food thing with
Hmm.
Ian. Um, but I counted it as more successful because I have a fair amount of followers, nothing compared to other people at Barstool. I have a
Sure.
fair amount of followers, and I'd like to think because of my interaction with them, the majority of my followers are like kind of good people. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, they could all have baby heads in their fridge and I wouldn't know about it, but I have
Right.
like great conversations with them about certain things that I post. There's always going to
Hmm.
be that fuck you fatty, or
Of
all
course,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Like that's always going to happen because negativity really sells. But with the sandwich of the month, like people like will DM me on the side, be like, "Man, I didn't see," like all that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, cool." Or give me, "Oh, I would have did it on garlic bread," or
Right,
something
right, right.
like that. And
But isn't that also nice, like hearing different takes from
it's
everybody?
awesome, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
the
point.
best.
Sandwich of the month creates probably the best forum, or one of the
Yes.
best forums that I have. We did a Twisted History podcast for a long time, my wife and I, Vibs
Hmm.
and whatnot, and we always had great follow through with our followers, listeners, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But Sandwich of the Month always brings out the best in the comments
Yeah.
section and beyond. So I love it. I don't know. I have to do another one. I've been lucky enough that they've been getting sponsored, which is kind of nice,
Yeah,
right?
that's big
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Um, so this month I think I'm doing a Scotch egg again. I haven't done a Scotch egg in a
Ooh.
while, so I'm gonna do a Scotch egg with the Marzetti Ranch, because
Marzetti
Marzetti
Ranch
Ranch,
is very good.
yeah, they got the protein one, 3 to 4 grams of protein every serving, just so you know. Ask somebody if you need those
We're gonna start
fucking
getting
gains.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
man.
but yeah, the steak sandwich thing too, like it's product placement, right? Like my garlic bread I make with Tony Chachere's, and then Tony Chachere's, I'll mention it on the show,
Right.
and that's how I get a lot of my sponsors on the show. I had
Sure.
mentioned that I've never been one to die on the hill of Coke and Pepsi because I grew
Hmm.
up in like an RC household,
Yeah,
and then like Pepsi's like let's fuck, and I'm like yeah, let's do it, and then
that's right.
same thing, like I had borrowed a sweatshirt. I had to do something for Jack Pocket. It's like a lottery app,
Yeah, of
and I
course.
couldn't have any branding on. And I
Hmm.
happened to have like a T-shirt that said like like some sort of NASCAR T-shirt or something,
Yeah.
and I had to find something to put over it. And I'm a bigger man. It's not an ironic nickname. I'm like six
Right.
five and 270,
Yeah.
and so I went down and I grabbed a sweatshirt from Frank the Tank. Frank
Hmm.
the Tank gets a lot of clothes sent to him on his weight loss journey. Most
Yeah.
of them he doesn't wear. Frank's kind of a creature of habit with his wardrobe. So
Right.
I'd seen just this generic double extra large zip up thing. I put it on. I did that, and then the people who made it was like, "By the way, that's ours. Do you want us to sponsor you in the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, bring it
Oh
on."
man,
So
that's
like,
awesome.
I think to have something happen is um I don't know, organic as that. that's
Sure.
okay. That's okay product placement. It's not selling your soul, although I'm not against selling my soul either.
Yeah, for
So
the
I've been
right
extremely
price.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And I sent you a few questions that I may have asked, but a thing I love to do when I'm eating a sandwich is setting my bites up for
Right.
that perfect bite when you just get a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
That's a real thing. Am I right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, a key ingredient in sandwiches is air. Like I
Sure.
can't stand slice on top of slice on top of slice
Yeah.
like it's fucking Jenga, right? Like
Right.
that there is no love where there isn't any bit of air. And
Hmm.
then the other part of sandwiches I think is strategy, right? Like how
Yeah.
we're going to do it. I mean I put a premium on how it's cut,
Yeah.
and and
That I mean it's legit. It makes
yeah.
sense. Like all
That's
that
why
stuff. It all
that
matters.
that's why I'm not a huge fan of this whole chop sandwich thing.
Yeah,
Like that
I heard that. Yeah.
where the
I don't I do not disagree with you at all.
Yeah, because they're chewing it for you.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
so like it's all this homogeneous
Yeah.
I don't know, like slop bowl thing, which I
Slot
know I
bowl,
complain
yeah,
about
I
way
was
too
just gonna
much.
say that.
Yeah.
I did go through a little phase where I was just making bowls and I was like, honestly, like it's the same thing every time, just mixed up. It's just not the best. And
Yeah.
I like having, different dishes, not just mixed together.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I'm the same exact way. I like to kind of see my protein, my
yep.
vegetable, my starch or whatever on the table. Even a lot of times I don't put a vegetable on there. So I like to see my protein and three starches on the plate.
Yeah.
And then go from there. But I realize that the reason people do it because it's very easy to eat a slop bowl like this.
Yeah,
Because we're always
absolutely.
staring at our phone, more
Uh-huh.
so our food. So it becomes like this shovel culture where
Right.
we're all built like jumbo shrimp now and kind
Yeah.
of strapping on the feedback.
Oh boy. All right, well that's the sandwich topic. Let's so you threw a post out the other day about the pork chop. I'll
Yes.
tell you what, I get so much heat for this and I don't know why, but the pork chop is one of my favorite foods out there. I love like the last two, dinners for our anniversary, got a pork chop. It was tremendous. I think it
Yeah.
was like sweet tea brined at this place called the Dancing Bear in Townsend. It's so good. It was so good.
Your sweet
Really,
tea brining a pork chop. Like
it
think
was
about that.
delicious.
That sounds fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
I
Good
I
char on
was
there.
it's So I was on Wall Street for 25 years. I tell
That's a
everybody
long
that
time.
it's one of those
Jesus.
things. I've been to
Yeah.
more steakhouses than I've been
Right.
to any other type of restaurant. And
Of
that's a kid who
course.
grew up in Brooklyn, so I've been to a lot of Italian joints too. I've been to more steakhouses. I love a good ribeye. I love a good strip. I don't enjoy filet. I
Yeah.
mean, I eat steak quite a bit. And um I think I'm cutting back on it. Not because of health,
Me
but
too.
pork chops, they take to marinade so
Oh.
well. They take to rubs. If I want an incredible, when I have a steak, I never put anything on it. It's salt. I don't even put
Right.
pepper on it. I like butter, beef, salt, boom. That's it. I,
Yes.
I want to taste my steak, some salt, and I'll give it a little bit of butter. I want that. I also want some fat and all that kind of shit. But as far as like, oh no, you got to put on this seasoning salt and garlic powder and rosemary and your butter base and all that.
Get out of here.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I know that some people like that, but I do. I really like to taste steak, so I don't often order it au poivre. I don't often order
Yeah.
it with the blue cheese crust. But a
Right.
pork chop is the opposite. That's where I get my steak. Pork chop, some of that like Korabuta, like that
Yeah.
high end heritage stuff does have a flavor, but the stuff that we're going to get in the grocery store, 2 inch thick or whatever, no
Yes.
matter how beautiful it looks, it doesn't bring that beefy punch from beef because it's pork. So that's where I start to go. I had a pork chop at a place in called Michael's in
Uh-huh.
Brooklyn, and they did a pork chop oreganata, big thick cut pork chop, cooked perfectly. Right before they gave it brought it out, they just gave it like this breadcrumb, garlic,
Oh
parsley,
my goodness
lemon cap to
gracious.
it. Put it underneath the
Oh,
salamander, just like they would a baked clam. Essentially, I
yes.
love baked clams, and and then they served it with a little bit of applesauce. And I was
Man,
like,
it's so
what
good.
the fuck are you doing to me, man? Like,
Right?
yeah, how much you charge me for this? And it's
Yeah.
half of what I paid for
Oh,
my
I know
steak,
that
you know?
that to me is why see, I love cooking a pork chop, but
Uh,
it's half the price. and it's so delicious. And you
But I'm
can,
ruining it. You're ruining it. I'm ruining it
yeah, that's
because we're no
true.
longer gatekeeping it. So restaurants would put a pork chop on their menu and it wouldn't go unless it was priced correctly. Because
Right.
everyone would be like, oh, I got to get a fucking tomahawk. I got to
Yeah.
pay for a giant bone. Like, So now, as we start to flood the market and become team pork,
Yep.
it's going to go
I'm
up. And that's
afraid,
because of you.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
afraid it's gonna go over the top.
Yeah.
But it's just so good, man. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's
underrated.
fantastic.
Another thing that I like to get at steakhouse is lamb chop. Pretty good. That
100%. I'm a
that'll
huge
play.
lamb chop guy.
Good
So
move.
I had done and I don't know how familiar you are with Barstool, but there's a great group of guys out in Chicago. They were the original Chicago guys, Eddie,
Okay.
Chief,
Yep.
Carl, and White Sox Dave. And they would start these drafts. And it's snake draft, and it's always something, fictional,
Uh-huh.
fictional superheroes. And so number one would be, Superman, and they kind of go through the five of them in snake draft. You know what it
Yep.
is. They did cookout foods, barbecue foods, backyard barbecue foods. And with the number two pick for myself, I took baby lamb chops. Like when I see
Great.
somebody who's
Yes.
grilling and they just bring out not a rack, but they bring out French or not, I don't care. I
Yep.
like to eat the grizzle.
The
Just
lollipops just,
put
oh
those
yeah.
on there, get a little grease fire going so they got a
Yes.
char and they don't cook too much, little bit of
Hmm.
salt. And I'm
Oh
telling you
yeah.
again,
Oh,
I
it's
I can eat
tremendous.
them like Wolverine.
Yeah, they're
Again,
so good.
and I got
Yeah.
the lowest score ever recorded on like people were like, no, no. And this was like 5 years ago.
Oh my
And
goodness.
and I don't know, like Chief scored higher bringing burrata to a fucking outdoor
Get
thing.
real.
No problem with burrata, but you ever have hot burrata? No.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably flies all up in it and
Yeah.
everything.
So I'm team lamb chop. I'm
Yes,
team pork chop. I'm
absolutely.
I'm team Russian dressing. I'm team relish. I'm team mustard.
Team
I don't
relish,
want
absolutely. Team mustard, yeah.
I don't want these things to go away. I
No.
don't want them to be replaced by, and believe me, I love ranch dressing,
Oh yeah, I love
buffalo, all
ranch.
that kind of stuff that's replacing it. And all these sandwiches are just strictly made with those, not newer condiments, but whatever more popular condiments are now. Got to
Yeah.
go old school every now and again, hit it
So
with a little bit
you're
of
a
Russian.
so you're a big condiment guy, right? You
Yes.
love the sauce. So if you, I asked this last week with Cole, if you had to pick for the rest of your life, would you go, you could only eat food without seasoning or eat food without sauce?
That's
Tough, isn't
tough,
it?
right? Because I can eat an unseasoned piece of meat with sauce.
Right.
It sort of wipes steak out. Well, no, I mean, because you're saying it wouldn't have any salt on it. I'm a salt
Right.
guy. Silent
Yeah.
killer. I'm probably gonna die young, but I can see myself eating unseasoned food with
With
salt.
sauce.
Like
I
even if
think
I'm
that's the
breading
easier
chicken
answer.
cutlets and then I maybe toss a couple in buffalo for the kids the next day to make
Right.
buffalo chicken sandwiches. I wish I didn't season the cutlets so much. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I'm more sauce than I am seasoned.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's everybody's answer. I
it's
think that's the
probably it.
easiest answer, really.
I believe so. Yeah, yeah.
Now, when you're, I know, I mean, I guess we really never have leftovers here. This is no
Hmm.
leftovers podcast, but if you do have leftovers, like you just said, the chicken cutlets, put some buffalo on them for the next day, do you almost set yourself up with something that you want to have the next day if you're cooking for dinner at
Yeah,
all?
so I don't a lot of times I don't have leftovers to your part because I eat until I hate myself, right? So
Yes,
whatever
yeah,
I'm done with that, I'm like, I don't want to see it. And there
yeah,
are a couple of exceptions. I mentioned one with lobster. If there's a surf and turf option or
hmm,
whatever, maybe I will take that, concentrate more on the turf, and then bring the surf home for the lobster omelet the next day, which I look forward to.
yeah,
If I'm cooking big New York strips, 2-inch New York strips at home, prime expensive.
of
I'll
course,
get an extra one and I'll cook it under medium rare. I'll cook it closer to rare.
yeah,
And then I'll pop that in the fridge because I know within a day or two, I'm going to slice that thin,
yeah.
relatively thin. I'm going to fan it out on a plate. I'm going to cover it in a mixture of ponzu and soy sauce, put a big fucking handful of
Oh,
cilantro in between and some sliced jalapenos
talk dirty to me.
and I do a little steak tataki. And I go in there like an asshole with chopsticks watching
Yeah,
TV with my wife, where we're both like,
yeah.
like steak swimming in that citrusy ponzu, where it's
Oh
like
man,
rare, but it's not. disgustingly rare that people would go away from because it's a couple of days old, right? And so, it starts to lose some of that bloody funk that people are afraid of.
Yeah,
And it's the perfect way to repurpose steak. I like fried spaghetti.
of
If I
course.
make too much on the Sunday sauce, I like frying spaghetti in a shitload of
Yeah.
butter until I get that burnt socarrat like you get at
Yeah.
a paella before you flip it over. I'm almost making like a
Sure.
fucking frittata. I get
Yeah.
excited about that shit. But as far
Yeah.
as Chinese food, no. Like if I'm at a
Nah,
Chinese restaurant, they're like, "You want to take someone home?" I'm like, "No." I'm not even a huge fan
I'm not big
of
on
reheating pizza.
Chinese. I'm not big
Yeah.
on Chinese.
Oh
I
no.
will eat the cold pizza. I prefer it out of the fridge left over.
Do you really?
Unless, I mean, unless it's like a really, if it's like a thicker slice with
Yeah.
thick crust, probably not. I'll throw it in the oven. I don't own a microwave, so I'm just throwing, I reheat everything in the oven
Yeah.
or the air fryer if I'm in a bind.
Right,
But
right.
I thought we're renting this place. I thought the microwave was going to make a big difference. Psh, makes it even better. It doesn't that we don't have a microwave.
I can't think of what I use the microwave for outside of like maybe melting butter or
Yeah,
warming up a cup of tea for my daughter or something
right,
like
right.
that. Like it's
Yeah,
not anything that becomes instrumental for me either. I do most of my cooking on the stove top,
do you?
not baking inside an oven or anything like that. I love to work with pans. So that's yeah, again, the majority of my meals are made somewhere on a stovetop, sauteing, frying, that type of stuff.
Nice, sweet. All right, let's. I wanna go ahead and get into our top five this week, and our
Okay.
top five we do every week. We'll do, we'll start from five, go to one. And this week it's going to be food cities.
Hmm.
I have done a little bit of traveling, not a crazy amount.
Okay.
Not a ton, but I've been to the main spots, I would say, for food.
Now you're
But
talking domestic, right? We're not going international, right?
we large, this is your world. We're just living in it. I want you to put the people on. So if
I
you
hear you.
have international, none of mine are international,
Okay.
even though I've had tremendous food in other countries,
Uh-huh.
obviously. But all mine are the United States.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of keep
Okay.
it above board. I will tell you, the only thing that I will say is that if I had to give an honorable mention somewhere outside of the United States, I was pleasantly surprised with this place in Ireland. And it's almost embarrassing to say because we're so notorious for being terrible cooks, the Irish. My mom and dad are from Ireland. And when she came over here and when I was a kid, thank God they moved to Brooklyn
Yeah.
because, it was like one of those things where you're just waiting for your neighbor's food, basically. And my mom got a lot better. But so it had that stigma. And I love Irish breakfast. I love
Yeah.
some of their traditional dishes. Then I
Hmm.
went to some place called Kinsale, which is the
Uh-huh.
culinary capital of Ireland. I was there on a golf trip, and everything I had just absolutely knocked my eye out.
Wow.
But that's my honorable mention overseas.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
I don't know. How do you want to start?
So we'll let you start. You'll start with five, and then I'll go, and then vice versa. We'll just keep it going.
Hmm.
We'll start from five, go to one. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So rattle it off. What's your number five hole?
I got to think that we just mentioned it. I was so pleasantly surprised with Nashville. I think
Yes.
that Nashville is one of those places where there's so much construction going on,
Oh yeah.
so much industry coming in, and it doesn't always translate into being a great food city because if you see a place like Charlotte, I think Charlotte got kind of big, kind of fast, and so
Yeah.
it's filled up with like high-end chains and pretty
Right.
good chains, but it lost its personality. Nashville will always have Broadway. Will
Yeah.
always have, good barbecue, Peg Leg Porker and all that kind of stuff. Um, but because there's been such an influx of people that they've really started to branch out, there's not a lot of options in each row in Nashville as far as that
Hmm.
goes. But I think that it's a very, first of all, it's such a fun fucking town to go to.
Yeah, it's great.
And we happen to own a bar there, Barstool Nashville.
Right.
So I tend to get taken care of there.
Yeah.
But also I really I always have a positive. I I do two food reviews a week,
Hmm.
and I throw away probably 15% of the places I go to. which
Really?
because I don't do bad reviews. I
Okay,
guess
fair
it's the time to
enough.
tell you that. Like since
Yeah,
I'm sponsored and since I work for Barstool, I pay for every morsel of food I eat and
of
then
course.
review because
Yeah.
I'm able to turn that in and get reimbursed from Barstool because
Hmm.
I get sponsorship money for my stuff. So it all
Right.
washes out. And I've seen some influencers and food reviewers that have been downright despicable with the way that they demand stuff from small businesses and restaurants. It's just, I don't know, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
And they're just, kind of bought type ads. Don't get me wrong. I'll use this seasoning if you ask me to do it in a sandwich of the month. I'll
of
drink this and
course.
all that. But when it comes to like the food in a restaurant, it's something I kind of take pride in. And when
Yeah.
I was down in Tennessee and I tried a couple of places, I
Hmm.
haven't found a place that I wanted to throw out just yet.
Great. Well, that's good
Yeah, yeah,
news. Yeah.
yeah,
I've like I said, I'm moving there, but I've been there quite a few times and there's always been great food.
yeah.
Okay, my number five slot, it is a little bit of a sleeper pick, I think. It's not really a spot a lot of people are going to go to, but my wife went to South Carolina for college.
Hmm.
Columbia, South Carolina's food, they have a great food scene. I'm talking local spots, like they have great breakfast. DePrado's, Cinnamon Roll Deli's got a good breakfast sandwich. I know you're from New York. Y'all have the best. Um, but just like local pubs, bars, there's great wings, barbecue. I think Columbia, South Carolina, they've got great food. So if you're ever near that area for something, you'll find some good stuff.
I can tell you that the town that I live in always has like a school, an SEC school of the year that
Uh-huh.
everyone just seems to like gravitate towards. My son went to University of Alabama
Okay.
in a year where nobody else did because everyone was going to Clemson.
Right.
There's a bunch of his friends that all went to Indiana. Bunch of
Yeah.
his, and I know it's not SEC. A bunch of his friends who went to Ole Miss. Like
Hmm.
my little town, northern New Jersey, they go to different schools in clumps. And one of those years was South Carolina, where they're all going to South Carolina. And I had asked around and people are like, you don't understand. I lived in Atlanta about
Hmm.
26 years ago or so,
Okay.
27 years ago. Um, and there was no good buzz around South Carolina. And what it's turned into in the last quarter
Yeah.
of a century, I'm saying it out loud, I'm so fucking old, has been impressive from what I understand. So I
Yeah.
haven't been, but I'd love to go.
Oh, it's a good spot. I mean, even Charleston, right down the road, great food
Yeah.
there. But yeah, they're making my number five slot. We'll go with you if you're number four.
Philly.
Great spot.
I had no, I, I'm to be 100% honest with you, I had no respect for Philly
Yeah.
or their cuisine growing up. It
Right.
started with cheesesteaks, it ended with water ices or whatever the fuck they do down there.
Uh-huh.
And I was down there, I've done a lot of stuff with like Gillian Wallow and obviously a bunch of stuff with, I cover boxing. So boxing and whatnot brings me in and out of Philly. Philly, since I've been going to Philly my whole life, man, they got they got top-notch chefs
Yeah.
in real neighborhoods, like neighborhoods that have a feel to them, where
Uh-huh.
these restaurants that can, and I'm sure there are some old head Philly guys who are like, no, no, they're ruining the neighborhoods and stuff like
Right.
that. And I don't know if that's true, but from the neighborhoods I've gone to and the restaurants that probably wouldn't have fit in Philly 30 years ago, they're operating at a very high level.
Oh,
Philly, a
shout
lot of
out Philly.
options, man, and it's such. And by the way, we're talking food cities. If
Yes.
somebody comes at me and says, I would never live in Philly, I would never
Doesn't
live there.
matter. We're
I
talking
don't give a
food. We're
fuck.
eating.
When you get there, you're going to be able to go to 10 meals and
Yes.
not be disappointed and never touch a cheesesteak. And if you do go, whatever, uh, Angelo's or wherever
Yeah.
you guys, I like D'Alessandro's,
Mhm.
do what you want. But Philly, man, has become a very, very good food town.
I got some buddies from up that way. I'm supposed to be going there in about a month.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to eating some good food up there again.
Hmm.
My number four, one you've already mentioned, and we talk a lot about, is Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, all around, good stuff there. Definitely gonna continue to have some good stuff. But I'm looking forward to moving there and eating some really good food. So
Yeah.
shout out Nashville.
Yeah, I'll save you some of my old belts. I think it's one of those things where you can go down a road at Nashville, especially when I move into a new town that's as hot as that, and you want to try everything in the first 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's like, where are we going for breakfast? I don't know.
Right.
I know we're going this place for lunch. Okay, then we're going to go this place. So you're going to become broken fat, and it's a good place
Yeah.
to do it is in Nashville.
Of
You know?
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Back over to you for your number three.
My number three, I fucked this up. Says Philly. It's too tough.
It's hard.
No, it's not. It's oh, it is, but I'm just wondering who the hell I'm leaving off.
Right.
Because if you guys will forgive me, New Orleans, great. It's a great food town. I'm
It
leaving it off my
is.
list.
Are you?
Unfortunately, I have to because I believe, and well, you're going to say, well, is Nashville a better food town than New
Right.
Orleans, where
Right.
it puts it
Right.
into six?
Yeah.
New Orleans, and this is what I'm going to tell you. I had a guest on my show. You got to try this weekly food podcast. We've been lucky enough to get some great guests. Just had
Oh
Alex
yeah.
Guarnaschelli from the Food Network on. Um, but one of the bigger ones that we got was this guy, Andrew Zimmern.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Of
he
course.
was like Bourdain's friend. I did 3.5 hours talking with
Oh,
Andrew.
we only have like 5 minutes left until I
Oh
think
shit,
it
I'm
boots
sorry.
us. No,
Andrew's
you're
like
good.
I measure it with breadth and width, like how
Oh
wide
man.
the cuisine is and then how deep they can go. And I told you, Nashville is starting to get wide and it's not deep yet. I think that New Orleans is more
Really?
narrow, but very fucking deep. Like what
Okay.
they do, they've been doing at a high level
Yeah.
for 100 years. But because they don't have that breadth, I'm going with Chicago as my number three.
That's on. I would love. I've never been to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
On my list to go specifically for the food, so I'm glad that it is it's good. Okay.
Iconic dishes that are known to be Chicago dishes, and
Yeah.
on top of that, they got just about everything.
Oh
And we have
man.
a Chicago office, so I'm lucky enough to go there
Yeah.
quite a bit. So when you do go, check out the food map on on the social,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
Oh, I've been looking at it, Large. Don't you worry.
I got a bunch of doozies on there. There's some very good food in Chicago.
Wow. Okay. Chicago's making a list at three. Three. I'm going with Boston.
Okay,
I think Boston has some very good food. Uh, that little Italian area in Boston, the pastries,
North End.
Mike's, the cannolis there were so
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah. The
Oh
North
my
End of
God.
Boston is awesome,
It's the best. I got
especially
some
around Christmas.
great, yeah,
Yeah,
that's when
yeah,
we went, right
yeah.
around that time, New Year's.
Hmm.
It's really good. And
Yeah.
I'm going back soon and I'm gonna throw some spots on the list to go try. I'm really looking forward to it.
So I'm
Okay.
going up to my number two.
Yep.
I think that if you want like a diverse global platform, there's only one place, and then the one right below that is Los Angeles. Like Los
Okay.
Angeles, and I know that people on the West Coast are convinced that Los Angeles is number one, and those people don't spend enough time in New York.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's vice versa. I
Right.
think that I think that Los Angeles has everything that you want. I think New York does it a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. And you're going to say, well, whoa, what about,
Yeah.
like Mexican food and whatnot there? Sure, you got it. But then what
Right.
does New York do better on average? And I just think that Los Angeles, unfortunately, is the number two food
All
city
right.
in the United States.
I'm going number two. It broke my heart that you said it wasn't going to be on the list. I got to go New
I
Orleans.
don't blame you. I
I
mean, I
have to.
don't blame you because it's all like objective and it's such a
Yeah.
fucking good time.
Oh my
And
God, it's great. We
yeah,
went there on my bachelor trip. It
oh,
was
there you
tremendous.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to go back Venice area to catch some fish, but
Oh yeah. I
oh,
could
so
tell
I
you.
guess it's clear both of our number ones is New York,
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
and well, Zimmerman on the show said not only I had Tom Segura on the show last month, and Tom Segura is like Tokyo's the best food city in the world. Tokyo is the best food city in the world. I've never been to Tokyo, so I can't speak for that.
Right.
Andrew Zimmern said I've been to 187 countries and all that stuff, and I could tell you the best food city in the world. You could argue it's Queens, just one of the
Yeah.
boroughs,
Right.
but collectively, those five boroughs of New York, you want diversity, you want breadth and depth.
Of
You
course.
know, New York's
Yeah.
got it all. It
Wow.
does. And I'm not a huge I don't live in New York now. I live in New Jersey. I think New York is filthy and expensive. I totally get it. But I go in there and I eat. I eat the best that I want. I can find anything.
Yeah.
And then I get the fuck out. You know?
Oh man. Well, Large, I really appreciate you taking the
Sure.
time out of your day right before dinner. It's a good thing we're talking food, got you hungry, and I
Yes.
assume there's going to be no leftovers left on the
Absolutely.
table.
Never. Yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciate it, man. And hey, for y'all listening out there, y'all have to tap into. You got to try this podcast that he hosts on Barstool. Check it out. And yeah, thanks again.
You're very welcome, man. Anytime you need me, you just let me know.
All right, dude. We'll holler at you.